Chapter 3. Pop quiz. What is the most potentially excruciating part of the school day? A. Math. B. Gym. C. Health. Or D. Lunch. It's pretty close. Math, there's that chance you might fall asleep and drool all over your desk. And gym, if your school has a pool, you really know what I mean. Health? You tried listening to Mr. Anatomy Atkins explain sex education. Yikes. But the answer is D, lunch. Because if it's bad, it's bad. Lunch is a sociological study of high school, where you sit plus who you sit with equals who you are. The worst thing to happen in school on a regular basis is to have no one to sit with during lunch. And yes, it happened to me last year in 8th. I've almost blacked it out of my memory, walking into the cafeteria the first day of school, looking around and seeing nobody. Still nobody. Well, yeah, there were people I knew, but no one was waving or smiling and saying, "Hi, are you the new girl? Want to sit with us?" Because I was not the new girl. At least if I was the new girl, I would know that I was standing there not knowing where to go because I was new. But no, I had gone to school with some of these people all my life. It was just that they were already grouped off, and you can't go crashing lunch tables without being invited. So I begged the librarian to let me spend the period as a library aide. The whole year I scarfed down my lunch between the shelves while putting books in their proper Dewey Decimal homes. It was still better than sitting alone at lunch. This year's lunch period almost makes up for last year's disaster. Harmony has the same lunch, and so does my friend Lindsay. I was a little tired after being up so late last night. Harmony had printed off my paper for Gallagher's class and turned it in for me with hers during homeroom to snag the bonus points for early submission. "Thanks for turning in my paper," I said to Harmony. I admitted I admired her outfit. Harmony always looked amazing. Isabella's style ideas? I got a lot of them from Harmony. She would take a white t-shirt and use scissors or ribbons or lace or whatever and invent something amazing. That day, she was wearing a denim jacket she dyed and patched up herself one of her original tees and cargos. It went perfectly with her dark skin, huge eyes, and braided up dark hair. As for me, well, I tried. I spent hours inhaling fashion magazines. I tried to look trendy. I checked out what Sawyer Sullivan and the other popular girls wore and tried to match it. But somehow, I just didn't get it right. Lindsay didn't even bother. Some might say she was something of a fashion emergency. But she didn't really care about clothes much. She was just into being comfy. Today she had on a baggy sweatshirt and track pants, with her medium-length curly reddish hair kind of crazy. Lindsay pointed across the room. Kelsey Gibbs and Dylan Sanders were making out all over the place. "Get a room," Harmony said. "So how come we're all boyfriendless?" I complained. "Me? Because I'm fat," Lindsay said. "Hey," Harmony shot back at her. "I told you I don't want to hear you talking like that." "Well, Jamie asked," Lindsay whined. "You are not fat," I said, for the billionth time. Then I pointed to Olivia Roberts sitting with her boyfriend. Besides, size doesn't mean that someone can't get a boyfriend. Cody worships the ground Olivia works on. We just haven't found the right guys yet," Harmony said. Harmony was notoriously picky. I'd suggested every guy in school, and nope, not for her. "Well, I found the right one for me," I said, "and here he is." Margot Vega had entered the cafeteria. Marco Vega was another plus to this year's lunch population. Food and a view. His jet black hair, his chocolate brown eyes, his muscled arms carrying his lunch tray of scary cafeteria food. He was so hot. I'd been crushing on Margot Vega since last year. I used to think he was your garden variety hottie. You know, nice outside, not much inside. Until this day last year in English, Mr. Blemos had us partnered up and read our homework assignments out loud to each other. Marco Vega was my partner, and the assignment had been to write a poem. Marco read his poem to me, a love poem. It was about the intensity of longing for true love, about depth and heartbreaking beauty, the quest for just the right love to set you free. Such depth, such passion, all waiting under the surface to be set free. And I wanted to be the one to set it free. Wow, I told Marco when he had finished reading his poem. That was about all I could say without flinging myself at him. He looked into my eyes and he goes, "Oh, it was nothing. Don't spread that around, okay?" Okay. He didn't want anyone to know he wrote poetry. Probably thought it would ruin his image. Oh, yes. I would keep it a little secret. That was the last time I talked to Marco Vega. But I worshipped him from afar, mostly from far across the cafeteria. Marco Vega is a god, I breathed. Do you think if I stare at him long enough he would look this way? On cue, Marco looked over and we all squealed and ducked. Okay, only I squealed and ducked. Oh yeah, I'm smooth. Hey, Jamie, what'd you write your paper for Gallagher's class about? Harmony asked a little too loudly, probably on purpose to stop me from staring and drooling. But before I could answer, Sawyer Sullivan spoke up. Oh, you'll find out this afternoon what Jamie wrote. Sawyer was sitting at the table behind us. She was a definite minus in the lunch period situation. Sawyer was sitting close enough so she could hear every word we said, but a universe away in school status. You know, Sawyer, we all have that misfortune. Sawyer and her friends were the staple group of every high school cliche system. The girls at the top, the populars, the stars, the cheerleaders, the ones who got the hottest guys, wore the best clothes, all that. I've heard rumors that in some schools, the popular cliche actually is made up of nice, friendly girls. Lucky them. It definitely wasn't that way at Whitaker. Our popular group were witches with a capital B. Please bless us with your wisdom, Harmony said sweetly. Sawyer ignored her. Gallagher's going to read Jamie's paper loud to the class this afternoon. Sawyer was Miss Gallagher's teacher's aide. Her sucking up probably guaranteed her a higher grade. Gallagher thinks Jamie's paper is... Let's see if I can remember this right from what she told Mr. Atkins while she was gazing into his eyes, Sawyer continued. The most provocative paper she has seen in her 15 years of teaching. Please, like Jamie Bartlett has something interesting to say. Sawyer's groupies laughed like she had said something incredibly hilarious and turned back to chatting amongst themselves before they went over their talking to non-popular people quota. To add to my pain, Marco Vega came over and plopped down practically on Sawyer's lap. Did I mention that Marco and Sawyer are going out? No, forgive me. I try to forget that myself. White bubble, white bubble. Harmony muttered under her breath to help me out. Harmony is into yoga and meditation. See, Harmony told me that if you imagine a white bubble around you, then all the negativity will just bounce off the surface and not affect you. It seemed to work for her. Harmony looks like she would be in Sawyer's group and was even recruited back in 7th. Sawyer and the Jennifers approached Harmony all formally, and Sawyer goes, "We are going to the mall after school to get our picture taken in the sticker photo booth, and we have room for a 4th face, so you can come." And Harmony told me she smiled really nicely and said, "Thanks, but no thanks." Not even, "Oh geez, I can't because I have to babysit. I'm grounded. I'm allergic to the ink they put on those photo strips." Just, "Thanks, but no thanks." Sawyer and the Jennifers were totally stunned. Sawyer Sullivan rejected? Sawyer gave her a look to kill, and that was the end of that. Harmony is now a sore spot with Sawyer, and I am too. Guilty by association. But I'm not Harmony, and I couldn't get a white bubble going no matter how hard I tried. My face was bright red. "Sawyer is pure evil," Lindsay whispered to make me feel better. "White bubble, Jamie," Harmony commanded. "Stop worrying about what she thinks." I knew I shouldn't let Sawyer get to me, but she did. Not just her nasty comments, but the way she looked at me, like I was a nobody. I have to confess, there's a little part of me that wants to be popular. Yes, it's better to have true friends than to be popular. I know. But I also know deep down that if Sawyer had asked me to be the 4th face in her photo booth in 7th grade, I would have said yes. I looked across the cafeteria. My sister was sitting over there with her new boyfriend. Duh. Okay, his real name was Doug, but trust me, duh worked. I know all about being popular, vigorously through her. Allie is popular. She was voted Fall Homecoming Princess of the junior class, which puts her in line for the pinnacle of junior popularity, Prom Princess. I see the benefits. Your choice of guys, people wanting to be your friend. When you're popular, you don't have to worry about what anyone thinks of you. Because you know they think you're cool, right? Anyway, if I were Iz, I wouldn't worry about what Sawyer thought of me. I'd just flick her away. Thinking of flicking Sawyer made me smile for a second. "So what did you write your essay about, Jamie?" Lindsay asked me. "It must be great." Well, that whole thing, it was really weird. Gallagher isn't one of those read-aloud types. A do-over type, yes. A see-me type, definitely. But not a read-aloud type. Maybe my ploy of writing about Gallagher's stud muffin subject worked even better than I'd hoped. Or Gallagher was seriously into good posture. I racked my brain for anything extra humiliating I might have put in my paper. Did I delete the part about a backpack that was too heavy getting caught in your bra strap? Oh my God, Marco Vega is in Gallagher's class with me. I am going to die. Iz knew that she had to move fast. She had to destroy Myrna's cliché before they crushed every girl's spirit. Chapter 4. You aren't going to die, Miss Bartlett. You have no fever. You may return to class, Miss Wingley, school nurse, offered no help. Hopes for lying on the cot with a thermometer in my mouth for 7th period English were in vain. I would have to stay strong. "Hey, Jamie." Malik Green was on his way into Gallagher's. Connor Griffith, the kind of new guy, was walking with him. I've known Malik since 1st grade, so I'm pretty immune to him. I didn't know Connor too well, since he was new last year. I'd heard he was going out with one of the Jennifers. "Where's your essays going to be read out loud today?" Malik said. Hope you don't put us to sleep. Thanks, Malik. So not helpful. I think it's just a rumor Sawyer Sullivan started to torture me, I said quickly. And it's working. Well, if it's true, it's pretty cool, said Connor. Gallagher used to work at some publishing job in the city. If she's going to read it to everyone, it's got to be good. No, what I wrote is really stupid, I said. You don't have to take pity on me. How about just saying, thank you, Connor, for saying that my essay has got to be good, Connor said to me. I looked away. I always feel stupid when someone compliments me, especially a guy. Not that it happens much. Yeah, I mumbled, and practically ran into the classroom. We had assigned seats in Gallagher's class, and I slid into mine. B for Bartlett, right up front. Definitely a disadvantage in life, having an early letter for your last name. You have to give your answer first when teachers call on you alphabetically. You don't get to hear everyone else's answer and match it. So, like if the teacher asks, what did you think of the political debate last night? And you answer, I thought it was kind of interesting when they talked about education. And then the person behind you goes, I don't know, I didn't watch it. And the next kid goes, what debate? And Sawyer Sullivan says, I missed it, I was on a date. And of course, you've now made yourself look like a total idiot. Gallagher did a grammar lesson. Yawn. Then she went over all the stuff we're supposed to know for our test. Just when I thought maybe Sawyer had been trying to freak me out, Gallagher said that she wanted to read someone's essay out loud. I braced myself. She said it was about a girl who could change the world. Phew! She was starting with someone else's essay. That's good. Takes the focus off just moi. I tuned out Gallagher's voice and killed time by peeking at Marco Vega. As a V, he's on the other side of the room, but he's also toward the front, so he's still in viewing position if I kind of turn my seat and lean backward a little bit. And it goes around on the internet that if Barbie were a real person, she wouldn't be able to physically hold her head up on that little body, Gallagher was saying. That was weird. I wrote about that in my journal last night. Someone else must have read that on the internet too, and put it in their essay. I wondered who it was. Gross. I just got gum on my jeans. It must have been stuck at the bottom of the desk. I was scraping it off as I turned back into Gallagher. The girl stuck a post-it note on her mirror, just like Isabella told her. The post-it note said, I'm all gorgeous. Okay, Did Gallagher just say Isabella? Process. What are the chances that someone else wrote an essay about an Isabella and post-it notes and quoted that thing about Barbie on the internet? Gallagher was talking about Is now, and Myrna, and flicking. It's true. Gallagher was reading my journal. Yes, she was. She was reading what I wrote for my very own self last night. Out loud to my entire English class. My private, personal journal is being announced to the universe. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dizzy. Feeling very dizzy. Get a grip, Jamie. Okay, how did this happen? I must have attached the wrong document to my email. I sent my journal to Harmony, and she printed that out instead of my English paper. I am such an idiot. And then Iz said, it's time. It's time for things to change. Miss Gallagher was going on, and on, and on. This is bad. Way bad. I sneaked a look around. Most importantly, Marco Vega. Marco was spacing out, tying and retying his shoelaces. Okay, maybe this was no big deal. No one ever pays attention in class, right? I calmly turned around to peek at the rest of the class. No one was even looking at me. They were all looking at Gallagher, Harmony, Malik, Connor, one of the Jennifers, even Sawyer Sullivan. Oh no, nobody was looking at me because they were so embarrassed for me. This was my journal. It is changing the world, beating Myrna and kicking popular butt. Oh no, Myrna. I took an extra peek at Sawyer and noticed that her eyes were looking squinty and meaner than usual. Yep, I was in trouble. White bubble, white bubble. I pretended I was Harmony. Okay, worst case scenario. I'm laughing out of Whitaker High. I'm laughed out of Whitaker High. There are other schools. I could transfer, right? Foreign exchange program? In a country far, far away? I could handle this. White bubble? White bubble. Oh, why did I have to write such a long journal entry? This was taking forever. Finally, Gallagher said, "The end." It was totally silent for like an eternity. I tried to sneak another look to see if everyone was asleep. It was the weirdest thing. Everybody was staring at me. People looked shocked, or like they had been punched in the stomach. Rebecca Furman looked like she was going to cry. I tried to look at Harmony, but she was sitting in the peas, so I couldn't see her. I felt eyes burning into me. I did notice Marco Vega totally asleep on his desk. Well, at least he didn't witness my humiliation. Finally, Gallagher spoke. Any comments? For a moment, nobody spoke. Then I heard Sawyer's voice. I don't think this Isabella is very realistic, she said. I mean, no one thinks like that. Then the bell rang. Saved! I heard Gallagher calling out my name, but I pretended I didn't hear her. My face was flaming hot. I fled from the room as fast as I could. Well, as fast as someone who trips over her backpack could. I started walking down the hallway really quickly. I mean, it was just a journal entry, right? I hadn't even mentioned the word bra or anything. Then I thought about everyone staring at me, and my face went all hot again. Jamie, wait up! Harmony came running up to me. Harmony, that was so not my paper for English. That was my journal. You printed out my journal. Are you serious? Harmony said. That was your journal? Not your homework? I can't believe this, I wailed. I guess I attached the wrong document to my email. I'm just so totally humiliated. Totally what? Humiliated? What are you talking about? Harmony said. Gallagher wants to see you. You have to go back and talk to Gallagher. Harmony dragged me back toward the English room. Well, I thought. At least everyone would be gone by then. Or not. A bunch of people were standing around Gallagher's desk. They all looked at me. Jamie, I'd like to talk to you, Gallagher said. Everyone else, please move along to your next class. Harmony, don't go, I whispered to her. I needed moral support. Everybody started to leave. Then the weirdest thing happened. As Clover McKay walked by me, she raised her fist. Flick, flick. She was doing Iz's hand flicking at me. Oh, great, I thought. Even the class outcast is making fun of me. Gallagher was sitting on her desk and started telling me that she had never seen anything like the reaction that occurred after she read my essay. That everyone was deeply affected by it. That I ran out of the classroom before I heard what anyone else had to say. Gallagher told me that half the class had stayed to beg for a copy of my essay. You mean they liked what I wrote? I squeaked. Liked it? Harmony exploded. Jamie, what you wrote was unbelievable. Everybody was stunned. But Sawyer said, I interrupted. Oh, come on. Sawyer Sullivan? She wouldn't get it. It's the Sawyer bitches of the world that was conquering. Oops. Sorry, Miss Gallagher, Harmony added. I think we are all a bit overcome with emotion after hearing what Jamie wrote, Gallagher said. However, let's try to be more respectful of our fellow students in the future, shall we? Now, I'd like to have a word with Jamie, so excuse us, Harmony, if you will. So Gallagher goes on and on about my journal entry and about Iz, I told Lindsay later. Lindsay had said she heard all these people talking about me in the halls, and she wanted to know what was going on. Since it's not like people usually talk about me at school, like never. First, Gallagher asked if she could make copies for everybody in the class, I said. I'm like, whatever, I guess so. Then she tells me she has a friend who is a literary agent in Manhattan. Gallagher asked if she could fax her my story, I told her. What's a literary agent? Lindsay asked. I have no idea, I shrugged. I better get to Spanish. I got to Spanish late and slid into my seat. As soon as I walked in, everyone was quiet. Kelly Hogan held something up and waved it at me, smiling. It was a copy of my journal entry. That was weird. She wasn't even in my English class. All of a sudden, Rebecca Furman held her hand up and started flicking. And then maybe 10 people were in there going flick, flick, flick. Senora Goldstein came in and started class. I couldn't pay attention. I was still trying to figure everything out. I'd never been more confused in my life. Gallagher was all excited about my story. Harmony was all excited about my story. People were flicking at me. Senora Goldstein even stopped talking in Spanish for 1 second so that we could understand her for a change. Would the chicos and chicas who are doing that flicking thing with their hands please control themselves until after class? Gracias. A note slid under my foot. I picked it up and read it. Tu cuento es bueno. Your story is good. I turned around and saw Connor Griffith giving me the thumbs up. I rolled my eyes, but I was kind of starting to smile. Maybe this wasn't the worst thing that ever happened to me. Okay, I would be a little bit of a celebrity with my English class today. Then it would wear off and things would go back to normal.